is our maths project, The British Imperial System, by Gabby,
Chloe,
and Kelly.
what is the British Imperial System? The British Imperial System is a traditional system of weights and measures used in Great Britain from 1824 until the adoption of the metric system beginning in 1965. The BIS was used in the Middle Ages and was defined in 1824. The BIS is also a system of weights, pence, foot, and pound. We still use the BIS system, but now the name changed by naming it the metric system.
Which measurements are still in use today? Measurements have been in use for a long time, and we still use it today. The units involves weight, miles, feet, inches, and yards for distance, and gallons and pence for volume. Measurements are still in use for ancient Roman times, or the Middle Ages. They used BIS in the Middle Ages and now present time. We are no longer using it. Most of us use the metric system.
What was the main units of measurements for length, mass, and capacity, volume? The main units of capacity, length, mass, and volume is the decimal metric system is a system of units in which the multiples and submultiples of the unit of measurements are interrelated by multiples or submultiples of 10. For example, the following belong to metric units: gram and kilogram to measure the mass, meter and centimeter for the length, or liter to measure capacity.
Why is the British Imperial System used by some of the world? The British Imperial System is still used today in very few countries, but mostly in the US and UK is used generally speaking in imperial measurements. Schools in UK and US generally teach students the imperial system. This works very well for both logic and keeping suitable items.
Which country still uses the British Imperial System? Only Libya, Myanmar, and the United States of America use the imperial system. Fact: the US is still using the BIS system because the people from the UK and the US are taught using the BIS since they were students. And now, in the modern day, people in the UK and the US teach the student the BIS way of measuring things.
Why is 1 inch the length that it is? In the Middle Ages, olden days, ancient days, came to measuring. The length of a foot, the length of a finger, and that's accepted as measurements. At first, an inch is equal to a man's thumb. But in the 14th century, King Edward II ruled that 1 inch equals to 3 grains.
What is about 1 foot, 1 yard, and 1 mile? Miles, yard, and feet is used in British Imperial System, and these are the units of length and distance. There are 5,280 feet that equals 1 mile. Then knowing about the unit of yard in a mile, 100 yard in a mile. Then converting yards to feet. 3 feet equals to 1 yard.
What is the difference between 1 ounce and 1 fluid ounce? Both represents the units of measurements. The difference is one measuring weight and one measuring volume. Ounces is the unit which measures weight, which is the best way of measuring ounce is by using a scale. It's often used to measure dry ingredients.
Thank you for listening and watching. We hope you enjoy it.